another episode of the Dr. Perkins Podcast. The critical thinking question of the day is, why are people with nasal congestion more likely to need braces? Feel free to take a pause for some critical thinking. Once you think you know the answer, hit the play button, and I will tell you what I think is going on. So looking at the question, why are people with nasal congestion more likely, or nasal allergies, more likely to have crooked teeth? You really kind of have to think about it a couple of ways. So as an adult, if you have nasal congestion, that you're started as an adult, that's not going to make you likely to have crooked teeth. But if you have nasal congestion as a child, that matters. So we have a beautiful picture done by Russell Lee, and he submitted to the Library of Congress. And this is just showing you a Mennonite family right here. And so this is John Harshberger's family. And you can see his oldest daughter right here. She's holding, one of his younger children right there. But you can see her sisters. And so you can see over time, this jaw is developing. And so a couple of things about jaw development. By the time you're 2 years old, half of that lower jaw is developed. By the time you're 12, 90% of that lower jaw is developed. And so by the time you're 18, it's complete. All right, so what is going on in a child that's so important here? So what determines that lower jaw development? Well, you have two big forces that are coming into play. And so one of the things that's happening is your cheeks are holding your food in, but they're also pushing on your teeth. And so this is going to want to make the teeth kind of crowd and get crooked and everything else. There's not enough space. Well, what's stopping that from happening in most people? Well, you have the tongue that sits in here and it's going to push back the opposite way. And so if the tongue is where it belongs at, the teeth are going to be nice and straight right there. But if your tongue is not there, because you're mouth breathing, right? If you pinch your nose, how long are you going to keep your mouth shut? Not very long. Why? Because you can't breathe through your nose because it's so congested, right? It's clogged up. And so people with nasal congestion, they're mouth breathers. And because you breathe through your mouth, your tongue is no longer being pushed right here. Out of nowhere, we just have the cheeks pushing in and nothing to counterbalance that force. And so this tooth, instead of being here, gets moved in here. Well, now there's not enough space for all these teeth. And so that's why you get crooked teeth that eventually need braces. And so nasal congestion causes mouth breathing, which causes the cheeks to be unopposed. Nothing's trying to stop the cheeks from pushing the teeth into place. Way too far in, and that is what makes your teeth crooked. Alright, that concludes today's episode. If you liked what you heard, be sure to click the subscribe and like button down below. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if there's any particular topic you'd like me to create a video on, let me know in the comments down below. Alright, well, I look forward to seeing you on my next podcast.